Hi, this is Graham's Storytime, and I have a very unusual story for you this time. Here is the cover of the book. Now, just to give you a warning, it's a book that everybody can listen to. Everybody will enjoy it, no matter how old or how young. Well, maybe if you're younger than two, you or younger than three, you might not understand it so much, but it's still a fun book. It's called The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by a wolf. Ooh. So the wolf is telling the stories. It's from his eyes, his point of view. This is how he would tell you the story, because we never hear the story of the three little pigs from the wolf. We hear it from the pigs or a narrator, but never from the wolf. It says, as told to John Scheitske. So he's saying the wolf told him this story. And illustrated by Lane Smith. Okay. And it says it is dedicated to Jerry and Molly. All right. So here's the book. Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs, or at least they think they do, but I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. Okay. So here's a picture of the wolf who's telling you the story. See that? There's the wolf. He has glasses. Interesting. So just so you know who's talking to you. I am the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Maybe it's because, hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies, sheep, and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. So we've got the wolf. There he is. He's telling the story. And here is like a cheeseburger made out of things a wolf likes to eat. Can you see anything sticking out from there? So you see the rabbit ears and the mouse tail? And who else have we got there? Just kind of scary. All right. He says, we can't help it what we like to eat. So it says, but like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. And he wrote, this is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cough and I ran out of sugar. So here's a picture. The wolf is making a cake for his granny. I guess that's his granny in the picture there. And he runs out of sugar. So he needs more sugar to make the cake. Okay. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house of straw? So there he is. He has the cup to get sugar in, and he's walking to the straw house. So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to walk into somebody else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. Ooh, and I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I snuffed. So he's peeking in. Door fell. Now his nose is twitching. He huffs and he puffs. and I sneezed a great sneeze. And what happened when he sneezed his great sneeze? And do you know what? The whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. So you see that little plop there? That's the pig in the middle of his straw house. The wolf says, "It seems like a shame to have to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw. So I ate him up." Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little bit better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor that was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built a house of sticks. I rang the doorbell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" And he yelled back, "Go away, Wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin." I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I puffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. Achoo! And you're not going to believe it. But this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. And the dust cleared. There was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. That means I promise. Oh. Now, you know, food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing that there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have the brains of the family. He had built a house of bricks. So it shows. Can you see how fat the wolf's getting? And that sausage up there. Sausage is made from pigs. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" And do you know what that rude little porker answered? "Get out of here, wolf. Don't bother me again." So there is the brick house. Talk about impolite. So here's the wolf. Oh, it looks like he's getting ready to sneeze again. And see the pig looking out of the window? So, talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar and he wouldn't even give me one little cup for my dear sweet little granny's birthday cake. What a pig! I was just about to go home, maybe make a nice birthday card instead of cake, when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. And then the third little pig yelled, "And your old granny can sit on a pin." Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks like that about my granny, like I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break down this pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. All right, so it shows down at the bottom there, the pig police are coming, the wolf is sneezing, there's a fire coming out of the chimney. Pretty crazy. And the rest, they say, is history. So here was the news article in the newspaper, Big Bad Wolf, and a picture of him huffing and puffing. Said, the news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down that made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. Oh. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar? That's the end of the story from the wolf's point of view. So what do you think? Is that how it really happened?